this next one was submitted by Quenby Harley. So you are number 3 out of 8, Quenby, to answer your question earlier. So yeah, I'm only slightly disappointed, but yeah, a little. I've not actually read any of these, so I have no idea how bad it gets. So I am quite excited to see how this goes. So this one,
this is the second one we got, and I've read it like 10 times. It makes me laugh every time.
It is really funny.
Fantastic.
It is really funny.
So this one is called "No Money brackets Will Be Left in the Bank," and this is the last. This is the last one which involves a play on the title "No Money in the Bank." By that definition, these 3 are already better than the rest. Get your shit together. And we have the wonderful Bobbie Jones reading this one out. So, Bobbie, whenever you're ready. Oh, trigger warning. Kirsty's just written a cab as a trigger warning, so not entirely sure what that means. I don't know if that's a trigger warning for cops generally being bastards, but yeah. So yeah, just bear that in mind. So take it away when you're ready.
Okay. Tom leaned back in the chair and let his mind wander back to the discussion months ago, which had started this whole scheme. Then there's 3 little dots, which means it's gone back in time. Look, I'm just trying to paint a picture. Okay. Andrew threw down the paper in disgust. How is a comedy show based around an improvised pop-punk talk show unoriginal? Tom jumped, jolted out of his regular daydream about running his fingers through Andrew's bushy beard. It's the Ed Fringe. There's a lot of competition. What I don't understand is why you print out online reviews. I like to throw them down. Don't deny my catharsis. Tom blushed as his treacherous mind wandered to what Andrew might look like when he was denied other things. Well, not being allowed to come might be adequate payback for all those jokes that Tom comes just because of his antidepressants.
Just going right for it, aren't they?
He shook himself. They were comedy partners, nothing more. Andrew dressing as a leather daddy and gazing lovingly at him on stage every night was just an act. Andrew was still talking. Last year's run was expensive. We are living up to our name. I mean, it's very on brand, but I'd like there to be a little bit more money in the bank. Tom sighed. Tom sighed. Nobody makes money at the Fringe. Between event costs and rent, you'd have to rob a bank to turn a profit. Andrew chuckled. That's funny. Wait a minute. That is funny. Maybe that's our new show. What? A show riffing on the idea of a bank robbery? Feels a bit played out. Tom jumped to his feet and began pacing excitedly. No, not a show about a bank robbery, a show which actually is a bank robbery. I can see the reviews already. Immersive avant-garde theatre, a powerful commentary on capitalism and the chronic underfunding of the arts, not derivative of James Acaster.
That's literally what would be said at the Fringe as well.
Points for accuracy there, for sure.
Very good. Andrew stared at him. My God. We could call it "No Money" brackets will be left close bracket in the bank.
That's the name
as
of the
we began to discuss flyering strategy and vault cracking techniques. Tom tried to listen to his words. He really did. But as he always did, his eyes began to focus more on the shape of Andrew's lips than the words they produced. His mind wandered over his passionate eyes and rugged beard, then drifted inexorably downwards. The things he wanted to do to this man. Tom cursed himself, wishing he was bold enough to say they should get naked together. Huh? Andrew's voice cut through Tom's reverie, and he blushed a deep red, realizing that he'd accidentally said it out loud after all. For the show, we should get naked for the show. It would say something about vulnerability and power. Sweat beaded on Tom's forehead. That had been as unconvincing as his excuse to wrestle with Andrew that night 2 years ago. 20 agonizing seconds passed as Andrew mulled this over. Yeah, I can see that. And maybe we should kiss. I think there's something there about heteronormativity and the fetishization of specific forms of sexual expression. Tom almost filled his pants with dust then.
Are you okay, Bobbie?
No! Okay. This was going to be their best show yet, and filled with even more sexual tension than normal. I need a drink. I'm so sorry.
Can I just say, I feel like it's really appropriate. My housemate's watching a film in the same room as me, and a really graphic sex scene has just finished.
Oh,
Like it
nice.
was very loud as well, and I was half convinced you could all hear it, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay, so we've got another 3 dots. So we've gone to another part of the story now. After months of planning, it was finally time. Tom and Andrew burst through the door of the bank with nothing but balaclavas and handguns. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your hands in the air and then put them together. You are about to witness an Ed Fringe show unlike any other. This is no money will be left in the bank, and you are our hostages / audience. If you enjoy the show, please do tell your friends. Unless your friends are police officers, chimed in Andrew. Nervous laughter rose from the audience until it was cut off by Tom. We are not joking. Nobody calls the police. Tom glanced over at Andrew. Did you bring bags for the money? I forgot, Tom, replied Andrew, delivering his planned line with genuine remorse. Tom rolled his eyes dramatically. What is the point of balaclavas if you use my real name? Might as well just tell them my surname while you're at it. It's B-E-E, mate. And Tom is spelt with an H.
I don't want you.
Yeah. As they settled into the familiar banter, Tom started to relax as he forced the manager to open safe after safe. This is what he loved, their chemistry as performers. His eyes definitely weren't caressing Andrew as he downed a full glass of red wine in 4 seconds as part of the show. He watched a ruby of wine drip from Andrew's plump lips and fall down towards his exquisite cock. There was the time. He strode across the room, trembling. He leaned in for the anxiously awaited kiss. Their lips met, and it was everything he dreamed of and more. Bodies melted together as tender lips caressed and yielded to one another. Tom's tongue, oh so naturally, slipped into Andrew's mouth, and he tasted so good. Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I'm really getting into this. Of the rich red wine and sweet treat musk, and of a desperate lust too long denied, and also sulphur.
Yeah, can't forget that.
Sulphur, okay.
Gotta have the sulphur.
They pulled apart in confusion, and the tang of ozone filled the air as lightning acrid from the point where their lips had met. A roiling ball of black smoke rapidly expanded and streamed out into the shape of an 8-foot horned man.
What?
What? This has gone from 0 to 100 very quickly. It evaporated.
I don't think it was ever at 0, let's be fair.
Yeah, it was a 45 and then it's shot up, yeah. It evaporated away, leaving behind the crimson-skinned demon who had incorporated that into space. He looked around in malicious glee, then spoke in a voice steeped in a millennia of cruelty and ancient hatred. Freedom! Together your mouths coincidentally formed the perfect summoning circle. Combined with the sacrifice of the repressed sexual tension between you, it was enough to open an 8-dimensional crack I could squeeze through. And 3 dot ellipses were onto a different part of the story. Tom slapped the side of the witness box. So that's the truth, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We never meant to summon the greater demon, which is still unsuccessfully trying to make Scunthorpe worse.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yes, we did end up having sex in public, but in my defense, we thought we were about to die. And sure, we robbed a bank, but that was just a part of a new form of experimental theatre. Is that really such a crime? The prosecutor stood and addressed the jury. Yes, those are all serious crimes. And as for it being innovative theatre, he pulled out a folded review and began to pick out quotes: trying too hard, uninspired, derivative of James Ancaster, with none of the charm. Tom felt tears begin to swell in his eyes. Oh, well, he thought to himself, that's the Fringe for you. And after all, there's always next year. But not this year, because it's been cancelled. Yo, that was wonderful. I
That
enjoyed
was
that.
wonderful.
I
Um,
dig that.